As I said, we're just doing some stuff that I pulled. We're gonna make sure you answer it in the Google Classroom, and please do all your work on a separate piece of paper. Alrighty. Today we're doing some stuff with unit rates and tables. Unit rates and tables is gonna be our theme for the day. Units, rates, and tables. This is some stuff we did before, I think, winter break, actually. So let's get the show on the road. Does the table below represent a proportional relationship? How do we know if a relationship is proportional? How do we know if a relationship is proportional? How do we know if it's proportional or not? Let's see, have the same outcome, same concept of proportionality. Right, it's going to be a proportional relationship if goes to the origin. Yes, that would be a requirement to go for it to be proportional. But in this case, we're going to look at our unit rates. What do all of our unit rates have to be in order for this to be proportional? Or I should say, do all of our unit rates need to be the same in order for this to be proportional? Do all of our unit rates need to be the same in order for this to be proportional? So everyone say yes, yes, they do. Every single one has to be the exact same so that the relationship, yes, so that the relationship between x and y is the same for each entry in the table. Alrighty, so how do we calculate our unit rate? How can we calculate our unit rate? Find the unit rate. Right, we're going to divide. What are we dividing? What exactly are we dividing? Right, we're going to divide x and y. Let's put y over x to find our unit rate. So our first unit rate is going to be y over x. 36 over 3 is equal to what? What is our first unit rate? What is our first unit rate? I see two people got it. What's our first unit rate? Right, I see a bunch of people got already. Our first unit rate is going to be 12. Y over x, 36 over 3 is going to be 12. Awesome. What's our second unit rate? 72 over 6. What's our second unit rate going to be? 72 over 6. Excellent. That one's also 12. What about our third unit rate? What about our third unit rate? What is our third unit rate? Right, 84 divided by 7 is also going to be 12. Look at this one, 120 over 10 is 12. And what about 134 over 11? What's 134 over 11? 134 over 11. Seen a bunch of people say 12. Is 134 over 11 12? Is 134 over 11 12? So I have to check all of our values. This is why we need to check each entry in the table and verify independently. So 11 to 134, we go in once, 11, 24, twice, and then we have a remainder. So this is a remainder 2. So it's going to be approximately 12.18. So is this table proportional? Is this table proportional? Why? Right, I would say no. Why not? Why is this table not proportional? Why is this table not proportional? Right, because they don't all have the same unit rate. They don't all equal 12. Excellent. I'm going to show, call, and answer for us. They do not all have the same unit rate. Therefore, this table does not represent a proportional relationship. Awesome. Any questions about this? Any questions here? The big thing here is to take our time, make sure we are finding our unit rate accurately and not just assuming that they're all going to be the same. All these questions are designed to trick you, so you want to make sure they're taking your time and going through it slowly. Any questions here? All right, not seeing any questions, so let's move on to our next question here. So we have Randy is planning to drive from New Jersey to Florida. Each time Randy stops for gas, he records the distance traveled in miles and the total number of gallons used. Assume that the number of miles driven is proportional to the number of gallons consumed to complete the table. So if the relationship is proportional, what does that mean for our unit rates? What does that mean for our unit rates? All right, excellent. Our unit rates are all going to be the same. All the unit rates will be the same. Awesome. So what is our unit rate going to be? What is our unit rate? What's X and what's Y? What is X? What is Y? Is gallons consumed X or Y? Is gallons consumed X or Y? All right, it's going to be X. It's going to be our independent variable. That means miles driven is going to be Y. Awesome, so unit rate, let's make that Y over X. And what is our unit rate? What is our unit rate? So we're going to take 54, our miles traveled. We can do that in this first one, over 2, which is going to give us, awesome, 27. And will our unit rate be the same for each entry in the table? Will the unit rate be the same for each entry in our table? Yes, it will. So each time we have to multiply this value by 27 in order to get our Y value, or the miles driven. So what is our miles driven if we consume 7 gallons of gas? How many miles did we drive? We consumed 7 gallons of gas. How many miles did we drive if we consumed 4 gallons of gas? So remember, it's not going to be 7. It's not going to be 27 here. We're going to multiply the number of gallons consumed by 27 in order to get our miles driven. Yes, we're getting a lot of right answers. Rolling in here. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. It's going to be 108. If we use 4 gallons of gas and we get 27 miles per gallon, that means that we're going to drive 108 miles. So how do we get, how do we get the gallons consumed from the miles driven? How do we go in the other direction? So we went in this direction, right? Multiplying by 27. Sorry, someone already got a right answer here. How do we move from the miles driven into the gallons consumed? What operation do we need to perform? What operation do we need to perform? Right, exactly, doing the opposite operation, or we're going to divide by 27. We're dividing Y by 27 in order to get X. So how many gallons do we consume if we drive 189 miles? How many gallons did we consume if we drove 189 miles? How many gallons did we consume if we drove 189 miles? So for this one, it's going to be 189 divided by 27. 189 divided by 27. So a lot of people got it. I want to see us pushing for more of us to get this answer. Awesome, yep. It's going to be 7. 189 divided by 27 is going to be 7. We have this one taken care of for us. So how many miles do we drive on 10 gallons of gas? How many miles do we drive on 10 gallons of gas? How many miles did we drive on 10 gallons of gas? Awesome, yep, we all got this one. 270, and what about our last one? 12 miles. Sorry, 12 gallons of gas. Can't seem to get that right today. 12 gallons of gas times 27 miles per gallon is going to be how many miles? What about 12 gallons? Awesome, so a lot of great answers rolling in here. It's going to be 324 miles driven. So, since we have a proportional relationship, each unit rate will be the same. So we can easily calculate all the values in the table. Awesome. So, any questions about this one? Any questions here before we move on? Any questions here before we move on to the next concept? This is question number 2. How many do we have here? Okay, we have 10 total people. Awesome. Any questions here? Alrighty, let's move on to question number 3. For this one, I don't know where it went, but this one, this is a proportional relationship. Fill all the values in the table. So what's our unit rate going to be? What is our unit rate going to be for this problem? What will our unit rate be? Right, so the unit rate is going to be y over x, and our side length is going to be x, our perimeter is going to be y. That's got cut off up top. Sorry, I have to fix that for later. So we're going to get, the only one we have both x and y is here. So we're going to have 4 over 1. So unit rate is going to be 4. It's going to be 4 for each of our values here. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So what is our perimeter if our side length is 2? What is our perimeter if our side length is 2? Awesome, we already got a bunch of people on the correct answer. It is going to be 8. Our side length is going to be 8. Sorry, that was not written the best way. It's going to be 8. What about if our perimeter is 3? What is our perimeter if our side length is 3? All right, excellent. It's going to be 12. What about for 4? What about for 4? Excellent. 16. What about for 10? What about for 10? 40. And then for perimeter to side length, what do we need to do? To go from perimeter to side length, what do we need to do? Right, we do the inverse operation, which is to divide by 4. And 80 divided by 4 is going to be 20 here. It is going to be 20 there. Awesome. Great job, everybody. We are killing this. We are doing excellent today. I have really great participation. I'm really happy with everybody. Really great participation. Really happy with this. Alrighty. Let's take a look at question number 4. I see it's getting, for some reason my PowerPoint is formatted weird. I'm going to have to make sure I fix that. Does the graph below represent a proportional relationship? So we have A, yes, because the line is straight. B, no, because the line is straight and does not pass through the origin. B, no, because the line is not straight and does not pass through the origin. C, no, because the line does not pass through the origin. Or D, we not have enough information to determine if it forms a proportional relationship. So, before we answer A, B, C, or D, do we think this is a proportional relationship? Is this a proportional relationship? No, it is not. Why not? Why not? What are two criteria? Two criteria for a proportional relationship. Excellent. So, our two criteria. What's one of them? What's one of our criteria? What is one of our criteria? Let's make this different color. Excellent. We have to have a straight line. And what's our second criteria? What's our second criteria? What is our second criteria? Straight line. And what is the second criteria? Right, excellent. It has to go through the origin. Goes through, sorry, it's a little hard for me to write with this pen thing, my mouse thing, goes through origin. Awesome. So, is our line straight? Is our line straight? Yes, our line is straight. So criteria number one is going to be good. But does it go through the origin? Where's the origin? Does it go through the origin? No, our line does not go through the origin, so that's going to be incorrect. So what's going to be our answer? A, B, C, or D? A, B, C, or D? Can't be A or D because, or can't be A because we know the line is, because we know the answer is no. The line is not straight. Our line is straight, so it's not going to be B. The line does not pass through the origin. That makes sense, and we don't have information. Nope. So our answer is going to be C. So for question 4 on the Google form, in the Google Classroom, you can just put C. Feel free to just put C. All righty. Any questions here? We got one more. Any questions here? We got one more today. Blowing through this lesson today. We're doing great. You guys are killing it. Very happy with all the individuals in this group. All right. Let's take a look at our final question for the day. Oops, sorry, where's my pen? There we go. So the table shows the prices a bakery charges for donuts. Is the relationship between the number of donuts and the cost proportional? So there are two different ways we can solve this problem. What is one of the ways we can solve this problem? What's one way we can solve this problem? Right, one way is to graph it. We could graph it. And what's another way to solve this problem? It's going to involve just the table. Excellent. We could also, so 1, we could graph it. And 2, we could find all the unit rates on the table. Excellent. So we can graph it, and we can also find our unit rates. Let's start by graphing it. Let's start by graphing it. So our x coordinate is 2, our y coordinate is 1. That means we're going to go over 2 on the x-axis and up 1. That's going to put us right here. Our next point is, oh, it's out of order, 12, 6. We go over 12. We go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The point is 3, 1.5. So that's going to put us over here. And 7, 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. So I'm going to do my best to graph it. I encourage you all to try this as well. I have no idea how I'm going to do this properly on the screen, but let's go for it. So from my graph, does this look proportional? From my graph, does this look proportional? This is what I've drawn. So you know, yes, I know my line isn't perfect, right? It's going to be pretty close to proportional, but how can we verify if it's proportional or not? How can we verify if this relationship is proportional or not? All right, so let's find our unit rates as well. So our line is relatively straight from what I've drawn, and it goes through the origin, but let's verify that and make sure that I didn't just do a bad job drawing. So my unit rate, what is my unit rate for this first one? What's my unit rate for the first one? What's my unit rate for this first one? What is my unit rate for the first entry? Right, let's do unit rate is y over x. That's going to be 1 over 2. That's going to be 1/2. Awesome. I see some people got it. Some people put 2. 2 would also work, but I want us to do y over x in general. So that's going to be 1/2. What about our second unit rate? That's our first unit rate. What's our second unit rate going to be? Unit rate is going to be 6 over 12, which also gives us 1/2. Awesome. What our third unit rate? Third unit rate. Unit rate is going to be 1.5 over 3, which is 1/2. And what about our fourth unit rate? So we're going to have 3.5 over 7, which we could simplify to be 1 over 2. Awesome. So now do we know that our relationship is proportional? Now, are we sure that our relationship is proportional? Yes. Now that we've graphed it, our graph looks good. We can make mistakes with graphs, and then our unit rate is going to be 1/2 for all of them. We know that our relationship is going to be proportional. All righty. So as we said, everything, actually we're going to ignore this one here. I have a new homework assignment on iReady, but great work everybody today.